Hi, I'm Mr. Cole, and welcome to my art study. It has a globe for no particular reason that I was trying to spin to look dramatic, but it wasn't happening. But it does look like I'm a very erudite person, doesn't it? Very well read, along with these empty alcohol containers, along with these whatevers. Here, good dog. Click, click. I don't know that those have ever been filled with anything but dust. Hi, I'm Mr. Cole. I'm an art teacher in the making, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about art and why I think it's great and I love it. And who knows, if I get you to love it a little bit or a little bit more too, then what's the harm in that? First, I want to talk about the term visual literacy. You're bombarded with images every day, basically. Like, you see billboards outside, you see advertisements everywhere, you see photography, all sorts of things are written in images. So literacy means you can read, right? So visual literacy, visual means images, literacy means you can read, so visual literacy means how to read images, or that you have the literacy to understand how to read images. Where did the dog go? It's a mystery. It's the magic of the camera. So basically, just like words, images can be read. And when you see all these images around you, you may be getting part of the story of what the image is telling you, maybe what the artist wanted you to get from it. But do you understand the choices that the artist made in order to get that effect from the image? Do you understand why some images make you feel one way and other images may make you feel a different way? And do you know that the artist makes tons of choices all the way through when they're creating a piece of art in order to make you feel a particular way? And they make those choices on purpose. And did you know that you can learn how to do that too? The term that I'm going to teach you today in visual literacy, because it also has vocabulary just like any kind of literacy does, is contrast. So, did you notice that there's a different dog in my other arm? All sorts of contrast is going on here. I made some choices, some visual choices, in order to help you see these dogs. Can you tell what the visual choices were? For one, there's the contrast, the easy one, that one dog was in this arm, and now Cozy is in this arm. But did you notice that when I was holding the black dog, he was against my white outer shirt, and when I'm holding the mostly white dog, she's showing up against a black shirt. And I even moved some of the white outer shirt a little bit so you can see more of her cute little head. So she stands out. That's contrast. So contrast means things that are different that make something stand out more than the other thing or things. So she's standing out the most because she's a bright white dog against this dark background of my shirt. Contrast. So everybody works better with examples, right? So I'm going to give you some more examples to work from, and I'm going to take them from different aspects of the art world. First is an example that may not surprise you, because I'm an art teacher, but here is Sandro Botticelli's Birth of Venus, a famous painting, and this is not just something that the artist threw together. This is something that has some very purposeful choices in it. Birth of Venus. What is the subject of the picture? One hopes that it's the woman Venus in the center right here. To use the vocab word of the day, the contrast is part of what's getting you to look at her. This has a use of warm and cool colors. Now, warm colors means colors like red, orange, yellow, basically the colors that are at the top of the rainbow. And at the bottom of the rainbow, you have your cool colors. Greens, blues, purples. So they fit the name. They sound like what they are. Warm colors are like fiery colors, and cool colors are like rainy colors. The thing about warm and cool colors that makes them particularly special is a use of contrast. Warm and cool colors tend to contrast each other, so whatever is the warm color in a piece that's mostly cool colors, the warm color is going to stand out. Whatever is the cool color in a piece that's mostly warm colors, the cool color is going to stand out because there's a contrast there. Another fun fact about warm and cool colors is that cool colors make a great background, as you can see by the greenish ocean and the blue sky and the green trees back here. Cool colors tend to fade into the back. They're a little more gentle. Warm colors tend to get right in your face, you know, like a fire. They're very warm. They're very friendly. They get right up in you. So, as you can see, most of the main characters here, as you might call them, the main players in this picture, are actually combinations of warm colors. They've got lots of yellows to their hair, so that's warm colors too. There's the pink that she's holding. Pink, of course, has red in it. It's a warm color. So the pink, the fabric that she's holding, is making them stand out in the foreground as well. So that's a classic art example. And here's something that maybe you wouldn't be thinking about quite as much as an example of a piece of artwork. But here is an advertisement. So this advertisement was also arranged by an artist with some very particular choices made in the composition, in the color choices, in the contrast that they created. So this public service announcement ad says, "One child is holding something that's been banned in America to protect them. Guess which one?" So this, as you can probably tell, is a shock-style advertisement. It's meant to reach at the pathos inside of you. Maybe make you feel bad about something, make you feel some kind of emotion, make you feel moved to take some action. They're trying to get you to do something that they believe in. Whether or not you agree with it or believe in it, maybe it has something to do with the picture, maybe it doesn't, but they're hoping that this picture will affect you when you look at it. So in this one, there's a girl holding a gun, and there's a boy holding a Kinder egg, a Kinder Surprise egg. And the point of the advertisement is that, yes, Kinder Surprise eggs have in fact been banned in the US because they have the little toys inside, so they're worried it's a choking hazard. And guns have not been banned in the US. So that's just the neutral explanation of what's going on here, without any particular opinion attached to it. But that's what they're showing you. But how have they set up this image to make you look at it and think about it in a certain way? Another way to think about how an artist is going to set up an image is that an artist is faced with a number of creative problems that they have to solve when they're putting their image together. So this image, the creative problems, maybe the number one creative problem of setting up a picture like this, is if you have a picture where one child is holding a gun and one child is holding a Kinder Surprise egg, how do you make sure that people looking at the image look at the child holding the Kinder Surprise egg and don't just look straight at the child holding the gun? Because, I don't know, but between you and me, if I'm looking at some children in a room, no matter what everyone is holding, if one of the children is holding a gun, I'm gonna be looking at that kid for just the entire time that that's happening. And I think that you're probably all the same. This is a pretty shocking image of a little girl holding a gun. How does an artist make somebody's eyes go from this to this? So there are some color and contrast choices going on in here. First of all, the kids are standing out from the background because the background is kind of faded away, and you guessed it, it's cool colors. So it's going into the background, it's a dark green. Whoa! But guess who else is cool colors? This girl with her shirt is all purple. So that should be fading too, right? This little boy who's holding not a gun, but a Kinder Surprise egg, he's got bright colors on his shirt. So he's got bright blue and bright red right here. The red is the warm color, so it's popping right out at you. And he's probably the thing that's standing out the very most about this image because of that bright red shirt. So then, instead of just looking at the gun here, you're also looking at this kid holding this egg because it's surrounded by the color red, and that makes you look straight at it. Wow. Here's another subtle thing that's going on in here, is the light contrast. So you can see that everything is really bright around that egg. Everything's really dark in the background and kind of faded away. So that brightness kind of draws your eye, where everything else is faded. Whereas with the girl, instead of just staring at this gun, part of it is also in shadow. So that kind of makes your eye go towards the brighter parts, and then right back to that egg. So your eye is being led away from the very shocking image of the girl holding the gun to something else simply because of contrast and color. And that's one of the choices that an artist can make. They can literally manipulate the way that you look at something. It's making you look from a different part of the image than you would normally be looking at, just because they knew how to use certain aspects of art. The last work of art that I'm going to talk to you about today is this one. Is our old friend SpongeBob. And it may surprise you to hear that this is a work of art, but it has all of the elements there and all of the artistic choices that make it count as a work of art. I could talk about the foreground, midground, background, how he's in the foreground, this is the midground right here with the Krusty Krab and the restaurant floor there, and then the background is way back there, those houses and the sand that you see in the back. There's even some atmospheric perspective going on where the back is a little bit fuzzier so it looks further away. But for something that I taught you about just today, let's talk about how the background is cool colors and fades to the back, and SpongeBob is the warm color yellow, springs right to the front, pops out at you. So, as you can see, this work of art is also using a manipulation to get you to look exactly where it wants to look. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't know what else to... I'm gonna cry. In conclusion, I have 2 dogs.